What's the role and responsibility of the bank if these things happen?
Banks is the life. Now everything is connected to the bank system.
So how do these banks perform well in having a competitive advantage with regards to conventional?
All the services will be online. All the services will be through the application.
When did you think that the people gained trust of the banks? Which era did you think this happened? Welcome to the Late Night Podcast by Q+. Tonight's guest, he's going to take us through a journey on why do we need banks and what's the difference between an Islamic bank and a conventional one and what's the future of our banking system. Mr. Mohammed, nice to have you on the Q+ podcast.
Nice to meet you, Brother Thamer, and thank you for having me in this.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
So I assume you just came from a bank?
Yeah, just came. Just finished my work there and came to your nice program, inshallah.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Mohammed, I want to ask you, why do we need banks?
Actually, banks is like, let's say, an air and the water and everything important in this life is connected to the banks. If I ask you what you did today, maybe you came by your car, which is maybe financed by a bank. If you bought a coffee while you are coming to your work from anywhere, it will be through Apple Pay maybe, which is connected also to the banks. If you have some savings, you will put it in the bank, so it will grow and they will give you profit in Islamic banking or interest, which is we will come to the difference between Islamic banks and conventional banks. Banks is the life.
So you're comparing banks to water?
Exactly. It's almost like a water because you can't do anything in your life without banks now. It's complicated life, you know. It's not like before. Life before it was simple. You go to a shop, you have some cash with you, you buy something and you take the good for you and you go. But now everything is connected to the bank system, which is you can't do anything without having a bank with you. This is in a very low, let's say, knowledge. But if you go higher, for a business and for individual, high net worth individual, the banks is very important for them because it supports their system.
You mean in a corporate level?
Exactly, in corporate level, it will support their growing. It will support as individual, even high net worth people. It's growing their wealth by giving them more interest or more profit by some tools like sukuk, like bonds. Many ways to increase their...
I think we have a general
wealth.
view of a bank.
Yeah.
Because usually a bank, what we know is like they loan money and you save money.
Right.
But banks do way much more than this. They invest money as well.
Sure.
And that's what people don't know.
Sure. Even with the government, the banks having a very big connection and the banks is very important for the government itself and for any government in the world, not only in Qatar, because it supports the system. And if you see the stock market, most of the stock market in the world, it's connected also to the banks, and the banks is leaders and leading this stock market. So if the banks' shares are going up, the stock market of this country is going up, and the opposite also.
But it shows you how vulnerable banks are.
Exactly. So, and banks are working for hundreds of years, so they are very strong now, like from 300 or more years. And in Qatar, it started like in 40 years, the QNB started. And the first Islamic bank is QIB, it's in 1982. So Islamic banking also, by the way, is like, it's not all that much, but it's not also new. It's like 20 or 41 years now, which is did a very well reputation here in Qatar, starting from QIB, Qatar Islamic Bank, and other banks now coming like Qatar International Islamic Bank, Dukhan Bank, which was Barwa. And
I remember it was a huge wave of banks.
To not forget also the Masraf Rayyam. Yeah. So 4 Islamic banks here, other than the conventional banks.
So the market share of Islamic banks are high.
It's high. In 2022, the total assets, which I remember here in total assets in banking, it was around 146 billion dollar, the share of Islamic banking, which is 18% from the whole market, which is a good percentage. Yeah.
But what you said about not Islamic banks, but conventional banks and banks in general being connected, it shows you how vulnerable they are in a sense. Because even like going back during COVID, you can tell that these banks were suffering.
Sure.
And most even like startup companies would go back to wealth management funds for finance.
Right. Regarding COVID, let me say something. Subhanallah, when things happened, in Arabic we said, when there is a minha in each mihna, so you can.
So it's a blessing.
It's exactly. Any crisis, there is something also in the other side. In COVID, if banks was not able or not ready to make the online banking, there was going to be a really disaster in all the world. But the banks was ready, so online banking was there. Everyone having his mobile banking. You have the online banking through the laptop or through any computer. So things was much easier for people to deal with their accounts and with their money through these tools.
So we would have suffered if there was no online banking.
Just imagine if you are disconnected from all your banks, and banks are not working, or they are working in a very limited hours or limited days. So how you will get your money, how you will transfer money for outside Qatar, how you will take loan. But everything now is in the mobile. Even many banks, now you can get your finance, immediate finance, within seconds or minutes. You can get your finance. You go to a car showroom. You want to buy this, I know you have this car, but I will not make an advertisement for them. Let's say you go to any company and you want to buy this car. So it's 400,000, let's say, 400,000 riyal.
Closer to my price.
I know your car. I saw it outside. It's black, by the way. Anyway, you go to your application and you apply for a finance. If you are clear, let's say you are clear, we mean in banking that you don't have any you don't have any checks.
Score.
Exactly. So you can apply for the finance immediately. You will get a message that you get it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, money in your account. You have your Visa card or Apple Pay even. You can, or Samsung Pay. You can pay to the company and that's it.
And
you get outside.
How fast does it happen?
Yeah, in conventional banks and in Islamic banks, it's almost the same now. Before we was going, let's say something. First, let me describe the difference between Islamic and conventional banks so we can answer your question. Islamic banks is working by a money, and there is a commodity, then there is a money. We are not selling money for money. We are selling money and we are buying a commodity, then we are selling again as for the customer or the final customer. In the conventional banks, they are buying money for money. They are selling money for money. So they borrow money from you and they give it to me direct. There is no commodity.
So it's an exchange.
Exactly. So in Islamic banking, no, there is a commodity. We are buying international commodities, or we are buying the car which you want to buy, and we are selling to you in installments. So this is how it's working between Islamic bank, or the difference between Islamic banks and conventional banks. Yeah.
I was surprised, even like when I got my car, I was surprised how fast the process was.
You got it, huh?
Yeah, because I remember back then I was speaking to my father, and we had like this talk on how new his car was, and he said I waited for a week
just
to get the car.
See,
and now it's like
in his age, he was waiting like maybe, as you said, for 1 week to get the car in Islamic bank, or sometimes in conventional banks to get the loan. But now you get it in seconds or in minutes, which is all through the digital banking.
Don't you think with the vast change of these banks, don't you think the future it would be more open to attacks and some
Sure.
scams?
Anything, there is advantage and there is disadvantage. And we always, if you see any banks in the world now, they are sending messages, emails, and advertisement even in the social media.
I got 3 this week.
Yeah. Okay. So people are getting these messages that please be careful about these hackers. Please be careful. But some people, they are not taking care. This is the problem. They are getting a link. You won 1 million riyal. Please download this application or click this link. So when they do that, they are giving. I always give some customers. They are coming to any bank, or to me or to anyone, telling, "Wallah, I've been hacked. Why you did this? Your bank is not secure." It's not about security from the bank. You give the key of your house to the thief. So how can I? There is a security system, right? But if you give the key of your house to the thief, what can the security do, right? There is nothing, because you give the key. Clicking unknowing links or downloading annoying programs, you are giving you the key of your program or your application to the thieves.
But I think they're
So
targeting
you can't blame the
different-
banks. Yani.
Yeah. But I think like what they're doing is like they're targeting a different demographic, like the old people.
Sure. That's right.
They trust too easy.
Well, they are sending in randoms, by the way, but sometimes the message coming to me, so I know I will ignore, you will ignore, but my father, your father, our grandfather, mother, or whatever, maybe they are not that educated in that field, so they are clicking this link and they are hacking them. Yeah. And hacking is now we are not talking about 1,000, 10,000. They are entering your account and they can take a loan in your name. Yani they are entering your account by the application, taking a loan, okay, and they are withdrawing this amount.
I've heard about
it's
in the news like
tragedies,
several stories. Yeah,
right.
Several stories you would hear like these cyber attacks and several banks, and they were like taking money
That's right.
by the millions and millions.
Yeah, right.
And then you would
Unfortunately,
imagine
that's right. Yeah.
how easy, how secure is our banks, to be honest?
It's 100%, 99.999 secured. Yani, we can't say there is something is fully protected. There is for sure something there. That's why they are working on updating the systems and security systems every day, every week, every month. But there is nothing perfect. But to be honest, it's like 99.9 secured, but sometimes the blame, not sometimes, like 99.9 also the blame is on the customer because he's giving the key. He is allowing these thieves to enter their accounts or their program or their application so they can do whatever they can do. But the bank, very rarely there is any mistake from the bank. Mostly it's from the customers.
Well, what's the role and responsibility of the bank if these things happen?
They are receiving the complaints for sure, and they are trying to get the money back.
Do they get paid?
Sometimes, sometimes, because we are giving certificate to the cybersecurity department here in Qatar, and we are in touch with them every day, and they are working on this hackers things, and they are getting sometimes the money back. Many times, actually.
All accounts in Doha are insured, yeah?
What do you mean by insured?
Like if any.
No, if you give the key to the thief, there is no insurance. Insurance, if there is a mistake from the bank.
Oh, so there has to be some evidence. There has to be some
if there
investigation.
Exactly, but if there is anything mistake by the bank, the bank will take the responsibility and will give you the money back.
No matter the amount.
Yeah, but if the mistake is from the customer, you have the chance to get your money back, but by the other authorities, which is cybersecurity department in Qatar or in any other country in the world. But it's not the job for the bank to get your money back. But they are helping. They are providing you the information, bank statement, who hacked you, from which IP, all this.
They'll be helping you.
Yeah, they will.
But is it
not their responsibility? That's what I mean.
I see what you mean. Yeah. But is it like different from an Islamic bank to a conventional on how they face these problems?
No, it's the same because it's all about cybersecurity system. It's not. There is no any difference between Islamic banks and the Islamic bank and conventional. It's all about the way. It's not about we have the branches. They have branches. I mean, you have management. They have management. Cybersecurity. All this is common. But the things is the core. The core that, as I told you, it's about selling money to money. We are selling money to commodity, then money.
So that's the difference between a conventional bank and an Islamic bank?
Yeah, this is the main thing.
And both of them, they do investments?
Both, but other ways of investment. They are investing money for money also. We are investing, let's say, the money in sukuk, which is allowing us to have projects and finance this project, and we are giving shares of this project to other peoples, like 100 or 200 people or 1,000, whatever is how the project is huge. Then they are taking profits from this share. It's like a share. Islamic bank is about sharing. Most of it's about sharing, not about just taking money for money. So
if we win together, and if we lose together.
Exactly.
That's the way.
Yeah, but mostly there is no lose. The bank is taking all the guarantees to secure the funds and to not have any loss. But there is in the contract, when you sign a contract with Islamic Bank, there is a percentage for a loss. You can lose, but there is no loss. Whatever we are sitting here in Qatar, alhamdulillah, for the last 40 years in Islamic banking, there is no any loss.
So Islamic banks prohibits the use of gambling and alcohol, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
So how do these banks perform well in having a competitive advantage with regards to a conventional
يعني
banks?
when we talk about Islamic banking, it's about religion. So our religion is not allowing alcohol, is not allowing gambling, is not allowing trading in guns and in weapons and all of this. So these things is one of the things which making Islamic banking difference from the conventional banks, because they don't care about the religion things. We care about it because we based on the religion. And Islamic banks is based on the Islamic rules and Islamic principles. That's why we are not allowed by our religion, first of all, and by our banking system now in Islamic banks to deal with this kind of alcohol.
And do they still make money?
We still make money because business is not about only alcohol or about weapon or about gambling. It's only like 1% of the business in the world. 99% is halal. You are trading in lands, you are buying or building a tower or financing a gas field or whatever. All this is a kind of business. You don't have to go only for gambling or for alcohol to make profits.
No, but what I mean is like it's if a bank is limited with the investment stuff that they have to invest in.
Yeah, but this limit is very, very minimum. The gambling or alcohol is only 1% or 2% from the total business in the world. So
I'm talking even in international markets.
Yeah, even international markets. Yeah.
The rate is so little.
In what do you mean?
In terms of like these companies investing in alcohol and pork products,
sure,
and anything that was prohibited by religion.
Yeah, but these profits, we don't need it. This is the idea. And if there is a profit from trading alcohol, we don't need this profit. We invest our money in other field, another industry, in other sector.
And still, you can make some money.
Sure.
So what's the competitive advantage for Islamic banks? Like if I'm a client, why would I choose an Islamic bank?
First of all, religion. Most of our clients on Islamic banking, they are coming because God he said أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. He allowed al-bay', which is buying and selling, which we are doing. It's as we said, money and commodity and money. وحرم الله الربا, which is he is not allowed riba. Riba
interest.
Is money for money. Riba is
the interest percent.
Yeah, exactly, which is money for money. So this is the main thing. That's why people are coming, first of all. Second, if you see even in the financial crisis in 2008, why it happened. If you go back in the history, like 15 years back, it's coming because this interest. People are taking more interest. They are financing in interest, and there is no asset for this interest.
They want it back.
Exactly. Islamic banking is working on assets. When I give you money, I know that you will buy this property. So I can take this property in my name and lend it for you. And you can be, I will be the owner, and you will be like someone paying rent for us. So I have the asset. But in conventional banks, they don't have these assets. They are dealing only money by money. And 1 million in the conventional banks, this 1 million can be 10 millions. In Islamic banks, 1 million stay 1 million. So there is no booming in the money. 1 million stay 1 million. The responsibility is for 1 million. In the other banks, not Islamic banks, this 1 million will be 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, like a balloon. And suddenly this balloon will be nothing. So and this is what happened in the crisis.
And speaking about assets, I want to ask a question. When I take a loan from an Islamic bank, the Islamic bank has to buy an asset and has to be tangible, which is something I touch. Is this true? Or
right.
They would buy it.
But let's define touch, because now everything is digitalization, going for digitalization. So when you say touch in Islamic finance now, when you get credited in your account, you don't touch the cash, right? You get a message that you got your salary, let's say, okay? Did you touch the salary itself? No, but it's in your account. So now having the money in the account is touchable. That's what we're meaning, it's touched. So when I buy or sell a commodity for you, you don't have to see the commodity by yourself, okay? Because now most of it's international commodities. We are not buying or selling commodities in Qatar. Or sometimes we are buying, because if you come to me and ask for finance of car, not cash, not commodities to cash, I will tell you, okay, I will buy this car, you want this, so you give me the offer from this showroom and we will buy it for it. It will take like half day or 1 day maximum. But if you want the commodity, which is tawarruq, we say it, tawarruq in Islamic banking, we make an international commodity deal in London. So we buy and sell this commodity
So we
for
buy the
you.
commodity?
Exactly. And we put the cash in your account. Okay. And now the new things also that we are buying the commodity, let's say in bulk. We don't wait for you to ask us to buy. We buy like every day 20 million or 30 million worth of this commodity, and we are selling for our clients. So that's why you got this message that when you ask for finance, you get it direct because the commodity already
So it
owned by
has
the
stored
bank.
in a...
Exactly.
Okay.
But stored, we don't have to store it itself, but we bought it already as 20 million. It's in our name, so we are selling for you.
It makes it much easier.
Things is all now, it's online contracts. Nothing is physical like before. It's not about a commodity is there and you have to touch it, but commodity is there for sure and we are buying it, but it's a contracts, online contracts.
So what you're saying is like you buy these commodities and then you leave them under your name.
Exactly. And you come as Thamar, you ask for 500,000. We sell immediately. You have the application. You ask for 500,000. We take our profit. Let's make it maybe more clear for the people. You ask for 500,000 in your cash. So what we will do, we will sell you in 500,000 commodity and we will put our profit. We will add our profit on that, which is like, let's say 50,000. So this 500 will be 550 and we will put it for installments, maximum for 6 years as Qatar Central Bank policies. Maximum finance for the Qataris is 6 years. So we put it for you in a finance for 6 years. So you pay installments.
So the car will be under your name?
Under your name.
Under my name?
Under your name, direct. Yeah.
Oh. Because I thought like the car would be under your name until I pay the full installment.
When we buy the commodity, international commodity, there is no car in between because you will get cash in your account. You will get a message that you get 500,000 in your account. So you go and buy car or you go and buy travel.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Buying a car is a commodity, but it's national commodity. So we buy the car physically for you, and it will take, as I told you before, like half a day or 1 day to sell the car for you and make all this in progress, and then you will get the car. Even in your name. Also, it will be in your name, not in our name.
So I want to ask you something which has been like looming around in my mind. When did you think that the people gained trust of the banks? Which era did you think this happened?
I think people are trusting banks more and more. I can't say they are trusting banks 100% because sometimes there are many problems faced by the clients, like in customer service sometimes. Maybe they have sometimes this imagine of the financial crisis which happened in 2008.
I think people didn't trust banks after the financial crisis.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But things are getting better now, because all this government policies now, especially here in Qatar and in GCC and in all the world now. After this crisis, they are putting or focusing on banks and how the transparency is there and how people are dealing inside the banks and to avoid any other crisis in future. But I think the trust is growing. I don't think it's going down. I think it's growing as someone from the industry, but maybe people from outside, they think it's not. But as I face from people, they are trusting and things are getting better day by day. Especially now you are dealing with the bank most of your time through the application. So there is no human in between. You can do whatever you want. There is no interface. So there is no blame on customer or customer service that he didn't hear me or he didn't understand because you are dealing with the application. Some of the clients, which I know, they are not visiting the banks now for years because they are doing everything online or in the, like by calling their representative of the account or account officer. So things are much easier than before. You don't need to go to banks for each.
Makes it easy, like with digital banking, it makes it easy
exactly right.
for the people to. You can get a loan through.
Exactly, loan. You can get your credit card. You can get your bank statement. You can make transfer between your accounts. You can make a Western Union transfer for yourself, for your mates, for your workers. You can apply for everything you can imagine now. You can do. You can make investment. You can make deposits. You can, as I said, transfer money in your accounts outside Qatar, inside Qatar.
I remember I have this
For
friend.
companies, for individual, and for corporate also. Both of them.
So they work both ways.
Yeah.
I remember I had this friend, and he was like, I invested in the US stock market.
Okay.
I was like, how did you do it? He was like, I opened
Online
three accounts.
Right.
One was in London and one was in Paris, if I'm not wrong. And one was in the US.
Okay. And he can feed them just
He can
while
feed
he's
them money
waiting.
just with a click of a button.
People are doing money now sitting at home. They are opening their laptop, making everything online. They are transferring money from their account here in Qatar, as you say, to America's stock market, to London stock market.
So he's making money, I'm losing money through Apple Pay.
It's something else.
Yes.
You have to reconsider
The introduction of Apple Pay
Yeah.
got me losing money because you don't know how you spend it. Like,
Yeah, right.
you
You
just
just
do
receive
the-
messages.
You just receive
spend.
messages and you hold it through
Yeah, right. That's right.
the machine.
All right.
But don't you think this vast change in technology, don't you think it's fast for like our banking system? Back then, 10 years, we didn't have any of this.
Right. Yani, life is growing, as you see, in every sector faster than what we imagine. Yani. Just imagine that we got the Visa card. When you get the Visa card, let's say in 10 years, 15 years, now we come to Apple Watch, and now they are having in the watches, right?
I don't carry my Visa.
Sorry?
I don't carry
There
my
is
Visa.
nobody carrying. I don't carry my wallet for like last 2 years. I don't know where is my wallet because everything is digital now. And just imagine in 1 year, we yani in some banks, I don't want to mention any bank, with all my respect to all the banks, they established, let's say, the Apple Pay in 1 year or 1 year and a half. After 6 months, they established also the Watch Pay, which is, yani just see this jump, how it is. It's in 6 months, you got from Apple Pay to mobile to Watch Pay. I don't know, it will be like Face Pay. I think there is in China, what I heard also now, they have a Face Pay. You can pay by your face because your face will be recognized in Apple Pay or in some company, so you can pay by your face.
The same system I used to open my iPad would be the same system I used to pay for my groceries.
Exactly, yeah. So things are getting faster, more than we thought before. But I think it will be in a better way. But we have to take care more because digitalization is good and bad. Yani, disadvantage.
I think the
and
rate of growth
advantage.
is too fast.
Sure. So we have to educate ourselves. We have to educate the clients. This is what I always say to the staff or to where I work, yani, that you have to educate your clients. And as a banks, they are sending what I see. All the banks, they are sending education messages for their clients that please don't do this, please be aware of hackers, please don't open unknown links. But unfortunately, some people, they are not listening to all these messages, yani, so they are losing the money.
So coming up to how the banks are changing, the system is changing. In the future, do you think we'll see a physical bank if everything is digitalized?
Yeah, physical banks is now not growing, actually. It's going to a way which is, it will help only like people who are having some problems, they want to solve it. But all the services will be online. All the services will be through the application. Some branches already, many banks in Qatar, they closed, what I know, last year, like 10 branches being closed in Qataris banks because of the digitalization. They don't need these branches. People are not coming now more like before. They are coming and visiting the bank if they need something not in the application, which is usually you have a problem. System is not working. I made this mistake in my finance. I was going to take 50,000, but I take it 500,000. And this is happening, by the way. Some clients, they are coming, they are saying, I was going to not making reschedule. I was going to take fresh 50, and he make refinance for or his installment for 1 million to get 50,000. So some people are not educated that much. We are trying to help them to raise an exception for the higher management. That's why some branches will work only like this, or some people still, they don't trust digital things, by the way. They don't have the application.
But how you keep up? Like you have these, like I remember my grandma, like if she would ask me like, how do I transfer between accounts?
Okay.
She don't know. So how do you keep up with the old people, like the old demographic,
Yeah.
to work around this digitalization?
Yeah, we are trying to educate them when they come to the branches, but we can't do more than this. Like, we can't go and educate them in their house. But
Are they trying to make the application much more simpler?
it's very simple. Many banks, don't want to mention any bank, but one of our banks here in Qatar, mashallah, is the best and in GCC and sometimes in Middle East, some banks. So here in Qatar, the application for the banks are very, very secured, first of all, and very high and very easy and very simple. And most of the services can be done through this application. But as you mentioned, some, let's say, old people, they are not educated, or they can't deal, or they don't want, because it's not about they can't. Some people I know which is educated and he's professor.
No, but technology is
he
new
don't
to
want to deal with the application. He said, no, I'm afraid. I don't want to have it, because he heard about hackers, he heard about some people is being hacked, and he got stolen, his money is being stolen from his account. So some people don't trust, but it's a very low percentage, and it's going less and less. People, they have to trust technology because this is the future. And you can't stay away from the technology all your life. You have to put your leg inside this field, which is technology and digitalization. And it's secure. Most of it's secure, but you have to be careful when dealing with digital things.
So, Mohammed, what's the future of banks?
Future of banks is great, but it's digital. Most of the banks will be digital. Most of the banks of the services will be digital. The branches which we are seeing now in the streets, this bank and huge branches, it will not stay like in few years, even not decades, and few years, maybe before end of this decade in 2030 we'll see many branches has been disappeared, and everything will be in the application and in the online banking, and as I said, the headquarter will stay as a top management, and others will be dealt by the digital banking and online banking.
Will we see digital currencies in the future?
There is already, that's there is Bitcoin, there is all this, like now it's 1,000.
I mean, like country-backed.
Yeah. This is they are working on it now. Some countries like Brazil, like China, like Russia, they started this currencies which is backed up by a state or backed up by the government. But here in Qatar, I think also I hear that.
You have the president of Salvador.
Yeah, okay.
He got everything backed up by Bitcoin.
Now, right? Yeah, even his oil and gas, I think. Yeah,
backed
right.
up by Bitcoin.
So, some countries, they are working with that. But this is the future also, because digital things is Bitcoin and all this digital coins, it will be raised and will be more in the future for sure.
Mohammed, it was a pleasure to have you here on the show.
Thank you very much.
I've learned about banks, and we're going to continue our discussion, even when the cameras are off.
Inshallah, you're most welcome, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
No, it's a pleasure. And you need to help me to stop losing any money, because with this Apple Pay, I'm losing money.
Don't worry.
Thank you, Mohammed, for joining us to the Late Night Podcast. Guys, thank you for tuning in to the Late Night Podcast by Q+. Our episode was about banking and the difference between Islamic banking and the conventional ones. Thank you.
Thank you.